today we're going to look at, this is the purpose of reading it today. I want you to think about these things. One, I want you to think about how Ethan and the other monsters are the same and how they're different. Maybe comparing the other monsters to each other. But mainly what we're going to look at today is what caused Ethan to reject each of the monsters that comes into his bedroom. Okay? Alright? So we're going to look at this through the point of view of Ethan. Okay? So you need to kind of put yourself in Ethan's shoes and see his point of view about each monster. Okay? You ready? Okay. Tonight, when I looked under the bed for my monster, I found this note instead. Gone fishing, back to the beach. What was I going to do? I needed a monster under my bed. How was I supposed to get to sleep if my monster was gone? I tried to sleep, but it wasn't the same without Gabe. I missed his ragged breathing, his nose whistling, the sparkling of his unclogged claws. How would I ever get to sleep without Gabe's familiar scary noises and his spooky green ooze? It was no use. Gabe would be gone for a week, and I just had to have a monster. I climbed quietly out of bed so my parents wouldn't hear me. Grown-ups have some pretty strange ideas about monsters under beds. I knocked on the floorboards, then scrambled back under my covers. I waited nervously. Would a new monster appear? What would he be like? Would his snorting be as cheerful as Gabe's? When I heard some creaking under my bed, I knew that the substitute monster had arrived. Good evening, said a low, breathy voice. My name is Herbert, and I will be your monster. Good evening. Herbert? What kind of name is that for a monster? You don't sound scary at all. Have you ever scared a kid before? Well, no. But I have read all the good books about it. Do you have long teeth and scratchy claws, I asked? No. I have an overbite. And I'm a mouth breather. Here, listen.
You sound like a dog.
Herbert's panting was kind of scary, but it wasn't enough for me. Listen, Herbert, I'm sorry. I just don't think this is going to work. It's nothing personal, but I need a monster with claws. Piggy, piggy, Herbert complained. As you wish, I'll go. There was some more creaking, and then Herbert was gone. Some scratching warned me that a second monster had appeared. He said in a high, silky voice. My name is Ralph. I understand you need a monster with claws. If you would please lean over, I will hold out an arm for his inspection. I crouched on the edge of the bed, hoping to see a horrible I heard some more scratching and I knew Ralph was gone. A minute later, a third voice. Under the bed, rasped, "Check out these claws, kid." I gathered my courage and peered over the edge. The claws were quite impressive. They were jagged and dark and razor sharp. So far, so good. I was a little nervous. Could you stick out your tail? I whispered. Sure, but don't get scared. I peeked through my fingers at the slimy tail slithering over the foot of my bed. That's when I noticed the bow. Are you a girl monster? Of course I am, she snapped. I'm Cynthia. Do you have a problem with that? Yeah, I do, I admitted. I definitely need a boy monster. Boy monsters are for boys and girl monsters are for girls. Everybody knows that. Well, are you picking one? She sniffed. And then she was gone. Was I being too picky? No. I knew that my monster needed to be well-clawed and menacing. The whole point of having a monster, after all, was to keep me in bed, imagining all the scary stuff that could happen if I got out. Then I heard a shuffling noise and some slobbering. A fourth monster was under my bed. The name's Matt. One look at his claws proved that Matt was a big, scruffy boy monster. I shivered. Maybe this would work out. Those are excellent claws, but do you have a long tail? I leaned over to see. No, my tail is stumpy. Matt slurred. But I do have an unusually long tongue. Why would I be afraid of a long tongue? I asked. Oh, I don't know. Trying to sound terrifying, you never know when might lick you. I fell back on my bed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Well, if you're not even going to try to work with me, Matt whined. I held him on the giggles. I really don't think you should send me away. He warned, kids who reject the 5 monsters in one night. I did not reject 5 monsters in one night, I interrupted. My regular monster went fishing. Fishing, eh? Maybe he just left because you're so picky. But I'm out of here. I wouldn't expect another monster tonight from you. How was I ever going to go to sleep without my monster? I was surprised to hear more creaking under the bed. With loud creaking. With scratching. I thought there were not going to be any more monsters tonight, I said. Sorry I'm late, kid. It was game. I thought I was going to enjoy fishing, but I didn't, he explained. Those fish scare too easily. No challenge at all. But you, my friend, you're challenging. You're almost too old to be afraid of monsters. You keep me on my toes. Toes. A delicious snack. The bed quivered as Gabe's stomach rumbled with hunger. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to start the evening with an ominous puff. the edge. Green ooze spread soundlessly from underneath. Then the bed trembled as Gabe unfurled his spiked tail. He was daring me to guess where he might pop up. I shivered.
So, you had some substitute monsters tonight,
Gabe said, sharpening his claws on the bed post.
Were you scared?
Then Gabe started tapping. I could tell he wanted to know if I still needed him. No other monsters can scare me like you! I giggled, diving under my covers and pulling them up tight. Through the blanket, I heard Gabe's soft, comforting snorts.
I knew it. We're made for each other, he growled.
When my blanket started to slip off the bed, I knew Gabe was ready to eat.
Now, if you could please just stick out your foot,
He said.
I'd like to nibble your pinky.
I yanked my big blanket back up and stretched my feet in so Gabe couldn't get to them. No toes tonight! But you can have this. I offered, pushing a pillow off the bed. I didn't even hear it hit the floor. Gabe was back. The ooze was perfect. Everything was back to normal. I shivered again. I'd be asleep in no time. The end. Okay, so first thing we're going to look at is the different monsters. Okay, so I need everybody looking up at the TV.